Welcome to the JD Bunkis podcast. We're going to do some Raptors talk today with Blake Murphy. We're also going to talk about the Blue Jays. But yeah, the Raptors season actually starts today. This just in. For everyone that basically isn't on the beat of the Toronto Raptors. But first, I was talking to Blake right before we started the show about how I'm starting to see World Series preview stuff. And of course, right? Like, of course, Bichette might come back. The Dodgers set their starters for the World Series. Like Snell, man, they're nasty. They're a nasty bunch. You've got analysts making predictions, seen multiple Twitter and Instagram accounts where the heavy hitters now, the people that don't spend a ton of time talking about the Toronto team, all of a sudden having like big Toronto conversations. And obviously, I don't actually resent that, but there is a small part of me that seeing it goes, I don't need to see this right now. Pass. Move it down the line. I got a couple of days here. Let me just bask for a moment in what just happened. Because, so they tell you one of the most important things, like you start to do therapy, and they tell you got to take stock. It's a really important thing to do. And I talk about it with people here in our industry all the time because it's so quickly, it moves so fast. It's just, you do a show, you finish the show, there's no time to like ever even celebrate for a second any of the work that you put in. And I think that we're kind of moving that way as a society in general. But listen, I'm not trying to get too deep on this. This is just a little sports chat. But the Blue Jays are going to the World Series, and they had one of the most entertaining games I've ever seen. And one of my favorite things about games like that is it's the 24 hours after, it's the 48 hours after. And this one, I'm just trying to extend it a little bit more because it's been so spectacular. Like, again, that is... It's weird to say this, but being there and watching George Springer hit that home run is one of the most exhilarating moments of my life. I had full body shakes for about 2 minutes after, where I was like, do I need to sit down? Am I going to faint? That's the way that it was feeling, and trying to soak in kind of everything that was in the surroundings. And so I just wanted to start the show with just a little bit of reflecting, which was what I've been doing pretty much the last 24 hours, is thinking about how these guys got here and what an incredible journey it is for so many of them. I'm thinking about the front office that came in under some of the most difficult circumstances from a narrative standpoint as you possibly could. The introduction to this front office was these guys basically took hometown Canadian hero Alex Anthopoulos into a back room and read him his Miranda rights. They berated him and told him what a stupid idiot failure he was for creating the best run of baseball that we had seen in decades. And then there were the failures, and there was the constant hammering of it's time to change, it's time to change. I've said it a million times on my shows. I never thought Atkins was going to make it this far. I thought after the Barrios decision that it was over. But ultimately, these guys ended up building a baseball team that's in the World Series. And they also convinced ownership to open up their pocketbooks in a way that was going to be something they could accomplish. I think they're fourth in MLB payroll right now, something that I think doesn't get enough credit. Like, it really doesn't. It just doesn't. This is one of the biggest complaints about this division in the past was playing in the American League East was the Blue Jays were never going to be able to compete with the Yankees and the Red Sox. And now I kind of look at it and go, I would almost be surprised if the Red Sox started outspending the Blue Jays. That's a crazy, crazy, crazy thing to say. And we just kind of glossed over it here. We were just kind of like, oh, thanks for the money, daddy. It's a huge deal. It's a huge deal that the Blue Jays are the spenders that they are. I keep thinking about, again, Vladdy, and I've already said this before, but it's just like the prodigal son, the guy that was the prince that was promised, coming through in huge moments. The guy who had basically done everything on his resume except for show up in the big moments, and here he is dominating in the biggest moments and coming through on the biggest stage. fulfilling the destiny of this player and getting to the World Series. I think about the big ticket free agent that kind of started all of this spending. Oh, the Blue Jays have money now. They're going to spend money now. And they get George Springer. And people go, they got George Springer, but they gave him too much length on the contract. They had to give him the extra year that everyone was dreading. This is the big ticket free agent playing in the part of the deal where you're not supposed to be delivering the same way. And he just delivered what is the biggest moment in the franchise's history since Joe Carter. That's pretty good. I'm thinking about the starting pitching staff, the veterans in the pitching staff, some of the guys that would just do anything to win. The Max Scherzer performance, the Bassett coming out of the bullpen in the 8th inning and turning into the world's greatest setup man, Kevin Gossman and the gum throwing, and the attitude that those three guys bring to this team. The veteran presence that the three of those guys have imparted on this group, the intensity of those three guys in comparison to a lot of the other fun-loving dudes that are in that clubhouse, and the way that it balances out and has made this perfect formula. I think about Ernie Clement, a cast-off, who now has the most hits out of all active players in Major League Baseball through his first 11 postseason games. Ernie Clement, a guy who last spring we were going, maybe he'll make the team, but he probably won't last very long. I think about the rookie, the college kid who people said, yeah, maybe he'll be here. And then he just went through every single rung of minor league baseball and arrives and delivers some of the most clutch moments that we've ever seen from a starting pitcher, like Marco Estrada level clutch from a child. And he has completely changed the ceiling of what this team can do in the postseason. I think about Jeff Hoffman, the closer that nobody wanted in the offseason, and then nobody in this fan base wanted, closing out big games, going to a CS, giving you 5 innings pitched, no earned runs, 10 strikeouts, including striking out the side to advance the Blue Jays to the World Series. So yeah, there is can continue to be some appreciation for the moment before I enter the sweat that is the World Series. Blake Murphy, host of Jays Talk Plus, and at some point the Raptors show. Some point, someday there will be a Raptors show again. Josie, what's up, brother?
What's up, man? That was really great.
Thanks.
That was good. Here's my only Raptors note as far as the Jays are concerned and the overlap is concerned right now. Raptors changing the start time of the opener to 6:30 on Friday. Tonight is obviously the season opener, but Friday's the home opener. They're going to do it at 6:30 tip-off, and they're going to play the World Series games on the video boards after the game at Scotiabank Arena. So,
just play it here.
Yes. You'd have to imagine it goes up. Well, I guess halftime will be just a little before 8 p.m. So, but yeah, after the game, they'll have the game on the video board.
Yeah, I think the Leafs are doing the same thing.
I'm a sucker for that stuff when the other teams get in on